You don't have to spend a lot of money to have dinner ready in less than 30 minutes. I hope you enjoy the next 5 dinner ideas and let us know in the comments what's your favorite weeknight drink. This rice is super easy to make. All you have to do is place your pot on a medium heat, add 1 tablespoon of oil, add your clean rice, and continue until it's nice and toasted. Once it's nice and toasted, you're going to go ahead and add some salt, Mexican oregano, your water quantity as suggested on your package, and your vinegar. Give that a loving mix and cook until it's ready. You'll need 8 to 10 potatoes. Peel your potatoes and slice them into rounds. Place them in the microwave for 10 to 12 minutes and place a damp paper towel over your potatoes to avoid oxidation. I'm using 10 poblanos and I'm going to roast them until they're nice and charred. Once I get my poblanos nice and charred, I'm going to place them into a container so that they can sweat, making it easier for us to peel the skin off. Once you remove all the skin from your poblano peppers, you want to make sure to remove the stems and the seeds, and once you're done with that, you're going to place them right into your blender. And remember to save 2 of them because we're going to need some for our filling and also for our topping. Once you add your poblanos, you're going to add a big bunch of cilantro. About how many stems? About 50. And if you want some added spice, you can add some serranos or jalapenos. 15 ounces of crema fresca. 1.5 cups of warm water. 2 tablespoons of chicken bouillon. A handful of your favorite melty cheese. You can use mozzarella, queso Oaxaca, Chihuahua, you name it. So long as it can melt, you're going to add a handful. And now we're going to blend until smooth. And boom, done. Let's go cook our beef. Place your pan on a medium heat and add about 1 tablespoon of oil. Next, you're going to add your ground beef. And this is what I do when I forget to thaw my ground beef. I tend to place it on the pan just like this. And I was supposed to show you guys this last summer, but we got busy. Things happen. Life. And turn it over. And I scrape. And the parts that I scrape off are the ones that I start mashing down just like this.
It reminds me of when parents used to say, hey, take out the ground beef before they got home from work. And you forgot to take out the ground beef.
Take it easy on the teenagers. If it's ground beef, if it's chicken, then we're going to have to talk to them.
Those sweeties are busy. They have a lot going on.
They really do. I pray for them. School isn't easy.
Yep.
You know, the social aspect of it can cause anybody stress. So be gentle and kind to your kids. Especially if they come home with those red eyes from the lights. Oh my gosh, those used to give me such a horrible headache.
Or the hungry eyes coming out of the bus.
Yep.
Coming off the bus.
Yep, hungry eyes. And I'm just going to continue to do the same thing with this ground beef until it's all crumbly like this on the side. And we're just about done breaking down the frozen ground beef. And not to worry, it's not going to be overly dried or overly cooked. We're going to season this to perfection. If you like ground cumin, go ahead and add 1 teaspoon of ground cumin, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of black pepper. Add 1 of your roasted poblano peppers. Give that a loving mix and continue to cook for another minute to a minute and a half. And boom, done. Time to assemble our casserole. And if you have one of these cool spoons, you can use that instead of a fork for your rice. Look at that. Keep it nice and fluffy, just like me.
Is that a pasta spoon?
I believe it is.
It's a rice spoon now.
It's now a rice spoon. Place a little bit of your sauce at the bottom of your baking dish. Oh, I went a lot. That's okay.
I've never seen you sample a sauce so many times like this one.
I'm like, with this sauce, I'm acting like you did with the chicken one.
Hey.
Place your corn tortillas right here at the bottom. And you can use flour tortillas. Just make sure that you toast them a little bit before you place them at the bottom of your baking dish. Yeah, that fits a lot better. Add your rice. And our oregano rice came out so good today. I mean, it's always good, but something about it today was just like, hey, I'm gonna show up for this casserole.
And not that anyone's counting, but you also have spoonfuls of that rice.
Hush, Cloud, hush. Don't embarrass me in front of our friends.
I'm usually the one carrying spoons in my pocket for taste testing everything.
Yeah, I think a lot of you are going to be amazed with this casserole today. You know when every single flavor of your casserole just shines on its own? That's exactly what this casserole does.
This one will help you get a star in your Casserole Mom badge.
Yeah, you're going to be award winner soon. Sprinkle about 2 handfuls of cheese. You don't have to be too heavy for this layer. Next, you're going to add your layer of your ground beef. Some of you might want to use your taco seasoning for the ground beef, and I'm going to say for this casserole, try not to. But if that's all you have, go ahead. And then when you get a chance to make it this way, I think you're going to understand the difference. Now I'm going to add a little bit more of our sauce. Just enough to cover all of your ingredients. And have a spoon ready, because if you're just going to pour it in, you're going to run out of sauce, and we need some for later. And now you're going to layer your beautifully cooked potatoes. You might find that some of them have a little bit of oxidation. Not to worry, we're human, it happens. They're potatoes, so just flip it over. Ooh, that's hot. Next, you're going to pour your sauce. And be careful because you don't want to overflow. But you do want to make sure that every single potato is coated with your sauce. And next, you want to layer a lot of cheese. You're going to need anywhere from 3 to 4 cups of cheese total for this recipe. As I mentioned earlier, you wanted to save 2 poblano peppers, 1 for your filling, and then 1 to sprinkle over the top. They're just thin little strips. And then you just want to decorate. Next, you're going to place your casserole in your oven for 45 minutes at 380 degrees. The last 15 minutes of your bake time, you want to remove the foil and continue to bake until everything's nice and gooey. I have a little bit of sauce left over and I'm going to use it. So to your hot pan, you're going to add 2 tablespoons of butter. Once your butter melts, you're going to add the remaining sauce. Give that a loving mix to fully combine your ingredients, and you're going to continue to cook for 5 to 6 minutes on a medium-low heat. And this sauce is going to help us plate our casserole beautifully. You guys are going to feel like you're fine dining.
We like a good experience.
And you're going to experience that today, Cloud.
All right.
And boom, done. Our casserole's ready. And boom, done. Who's ready for a bite? I'm gonna need somebody very special to say,
Ooh, one
oh, you wanted that piece?
I've had a lot. Spoonfuls.
Careful, allow your casserole to rest at least 10 to 15 minutes before you serve. It is very hot, but we can't resist, so we're going in. Wow. This is a great casserole because it's both filling and flavorful. I hope that you guys enjoy this as much as our family does. After our family's festivities, we tend to have some salsa verde left over, and I love to save a little bit so that I can make salsa verde spaghetti. But if you didn't have a chance to save your salsa verde, that's okay. We're gonna get started by boiling 10 tomatillos, 1/4 of an onion, and 2 jalapeno peppers. Continue to boil your ingredients until they're nice and soft. And once your ingredients are nice and soft, you're going to place all of them in a blender, and you're going to add a small bunch of cilantro, half a tablespoon of chicken bouillon, and you're going to blend until smooth. And boom, done. As for your spaghetti, you just want to cook it and follow the directions on the box. Make sure to save 1 cup of your pasta water. Next, we're going to cook our beef, so you want to place your pan on a medium heat and drizzle a little bit of olive oil. We're going to saute our onions for about 3 to 4 minutes until they're nice and translucent. Next, you're going to add 3 minced garlic cloves. Give that a quick loving mix. Add 1.5 pounds of ground beef. You're going to add some cracked pepper and about half a teaspoon of salt. Once you fully combine your ingredients, you're going to continue to cook your beef on a medium heat until everything is fully cooked. Once your ground beef is fully cooked, you're going to add your salsa verde. I'm going to add about 3/4 of the cup of our pasta water. I'm going to shake it up and pour it right in. Ooh, that smells delicious. Go ahead and give that a loving mix. Then you're going to add 1 tablespoon of Mexican oregano, and if you don't have Mexican oregano, I usually say don't use it, but on this one, even if you have the Italian one, use it. It's going to taste so good. Okay, we're going to continue to cook our ingredients for 10 more minutes. And boom, done. We're ready to serve. You can drizzle a little bit of crema fresca over the top. Queso cotija on the top. Garnish with a little cilantro. I'm gonna need somebody very special to say Hello and welcome back. Today we're making a no-fuss, crunchy, beefy dinner. Just make sure to have at least 1 pound of ground beef and your favorite taco seasoning. Place your burner on a medium-high heat and add 1 tablespoon of lard or your favorite oil. Add your ground beef and start breaking it down. I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of Kinder taco seasoning. It's my favorite one. It tastes like home. So good. And break it down some more with that seasoning. It's already starting to smell so good in this house. You want to continue to cook for another 4 to 6 minutes. And boom, done. Our ground beef is ready. You're going to take your tostada and add some beans to it. Add your desired amount of ground beef. Some salsa. Some guacamole. Place it right over the top. Freshly shredded lettuce. Mexican cheese blend. Delicious pico de gallo. And your choice of crema fresca or sour cream. I'm gonna need somebody very special to say And there you have it, a quick and easy dinner giving you more time to enjoy your family. Look away because this is about to get really dangerous. That's so good. That's absolutely delicious. Now let's get this recipe on the road by grinding 1 tablespoon of cumin seeds. And I'm going to be using my Mr. Coffee grinder. It's not just for grinding coffee, it's for grinding some delicious spices. And now you're just going to pulse and give it a nice little 90s grind. Let's start seasoning our ground beef. You're going to add your ground cumin, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of salt, half a tablespoon of olive oil. And now you want to combine and mix all your ingredients. For those of you that are curious as to what kind of beef I'm using today, I'm using 85/15. And once you're done combining your ingredients, you're going to go ahead and set this to the side. You're gonna need 2 garlic cloves, and all you wanna do is peel your garlic, chop it up, and mince it nicely. Now, if you don't have time to chop your garlic, that's okay. You can substitute with 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. And once you're done mincing, you're gonna set your garlic to the side. Next, you're gonna chop your cabbage. If you have a small cabbage, you're gonna need to use the whole thing, and if you have a large cabbage, just go ahead and chop half of it. And what I like to do, I place it on its side, and I start chopping. This part doesn't have to be too fine because when you're eating this with your ground beef, you want a good bite. You don't have to be perfect for this particular cabbage. And that's why this recipe is one of the family favorites. The best ratio for this particular recipe would be 50% ground beef and 50% cabbage. Now, if you need to stretch it, go ahead and add more cabbage. Promise you, nobody's gonna complain about this particular recipe, and the best part is that it's super easy to make. And now it's time to get to cooking. Place your burner on a medium heat and drizzle about 1 teaspoon of olive oil. To that olive oil, you're gonna add your garlic, and you're gonna saute for a good 30 seconds. That smells delicious. These little simple steps in cooking really make a difference. Next, you're gonna add your ground beef and you're gonna continue to cook and break down for a good 4 minutes. The aromas coming out of this kitchen are absolutely divine. Some of you are gonna want to get excited and add more seasonings in here. I suggest that you don't. Learn how to eat simple. This is a very simple recipe that's gonna save your life at some point when everybody's really hungry in your home. So don't add anything. The only thing you should be adjusting is your salt. So once you've cooked your ground beef and you see a little bit of that frothiness at the bottom, you're gonna add your cabbage. Place your favorite lid over your cabbage. I don't have a favorite lid for my cast iron, so bear with me. And then you're gonna place your lid on the top and you're gonna let your cabbage wilt down. So in 4 minutes, we're gonna come and we're gonna mix everything up. And after those 4 minutes, you're just gonna combine your ingredients. Place your pan on a medium-low and continue to cook for another 4 minutes. And boom, done. Our dinner is ready to serve. And make sure when you're serving this recipe with beans that your beans are nice and thin and smooth. That way it's easier for your body to digest. You can add a little bit of queso fresco to your beans. And boom, done. Who's ready for a bite? I'm gonna need somebody very special to say And boom, done. An easy and simple dinner that your whole family is gonna love. What I love about this recipe is that it usually takes me less than 20 minutes to do it, from the rice to the ground beef and cabbage and even our beans. This is the kind of dinner that always gets my family asking for seconds, so you guys are warned. That's so good. As always, Cloud and I are wishing you the best. We absolutely adore you, and on that one, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye! Adios! And my favorite way to enjoy this particular recipe is by adding a little bit of soy sauce to my rice and over my ground beef and cabbage. And for spice, I like some chiltepines. It doesn't taste the same if I don't add those 2 ingredients, so I hope that you guys like my take on this particular recipe. For today's guisado, you're gonna need 1 to 2 pounds of ground beef, and if you don't have ground beef, you can use ground chicken. So go ahead and add 1 teaspoon of ground cumin, your desired amount of black pepper. I'm just hoping it lands in that bowl.
It did, in that big bowl.
In that big bowl.
And you can find the acrylic spice containers in our Amazon storefront.
And the link is in the description area, and now we're pinning it for you, so just look in the comments, it's gonna be the first one. So go ahead and add half a chopped onion. Whoa, that one wanted to shine. Your friends are here.
They're here for me.
Drizzle about half a tablespoon of olive oil or whatever oil you have at home, and combine all your ingredients.
What kind of olive oil are you using? I've never seen that bottle before.
Don't tease. I ran out of our favorite olive oil, and I have this one from Costco, and I don't know how I feel about it.
Oh, that's why you're not showing us.
No, I can't. But I'm gonna finish using it. I have a whole bottle to go.
Don't worry, Views Club, I'll sneak a peek and tell you on tomorrow's episode what it is.
I'm gonna have to start mailing it out.
Hiding it. Put duct tape on it.
I'm gonna have to infuse it with some birria seasonings.
Ooh, that sounds good.
And once you're done combining your ingredients, go ahead and set it to the side. I pre-soaked about 9 chile guajillos in hot water, and you just want to let them soak in there until they get nice and soft, or you can use the boiling method, which takes about the same amount of time. I'm gonna use a little bit of this water so we can blend. You want to add 2 roasted tomatoes and 2 roasted garlics. And for those of you that like spice in your food, you can add some chile de árbol, and that's gonna be up to you, because I've been known to make really spicy salsa to the point where my family doesn't want to talk to me.
Mm-hmm. That happened to me recently. Thanks for the warning, little girl. You got me good.
And now you're gonna blend until smooth. And boom, done, amigos. Place your burner on a medium heat and drizzle a little bit of oil, and then you're gonna add your ground beef. And the reason I'm using my hands to put the beef in, it's because it's authentic that way. I'm just kidding.
You're able to crumble up that meat.
Yeah.
You wash your hands a lot, and I'm grateful for that.
I've counted one time how many times I washed my hands, and it was like 25 or something, bro.
Well, because you're always in the kitchen.
That's right. Continue to cook your ground beef on that medium heat for another 4 to 5 minutes, and just start breaking down your ground beef. Once you've fully cooked your ground beef, you're gonna go ahead and add your pre-cooked potatoes. And if you like to use a microwave, you can chop up your potatoes and cook them for 8 minutes, or you can boil them for about 10 to 12 minutes. Add your blended chili sauce. I'm gonna use about 1.5 cups of water to shake off all the excess chili, and we're gonna pour it right on in. 1 to 2 tablespoons of chicken bouillon, and 1 tablespoon of Mexican oregano. Combine all your ingredients and continue to cook until you see that your sauce is thickened up a little bit. That should be anywhere from 13 to 15 minutes. Okay, amigos, we are all done here. I like my guisado a bit saucier because I like to dip my tortillas usually. But for those of you that don't want it so saucy, just use a little bit of less water, and I'll leave the suggestions in the description area. But we are ready to serve and make this burrito. I'm gonna warm up our flour tortilla. If you guys need a recipe, I have a lot here on YouTube. Look up Views on the Road tortillas. I try to help you differently in each one. They all have tips. To your tortilla, you want to add your favorite beans. Today I'm using pork beans, and I'll link it in the description area. Mexican rice, the star of the show. And I like my burritos this way with some cheddar. And boom, done. Who's ready for a bite? And I'm just gonna show you another way you can plate this guisado. Today I'm making an orange agua fresca, and in order to enhance the flavor, you're gonna need to use at least 1 mandarin orange. And the brand doesn't matter. I know that you guys have some cuties hiding in the refrigerator. That will do for this recipe. Let's start by slicing our oranges. You're gonna need to make 2 cups of fresh orange juice. And if you don't have access to fresh oranges, you're gonna need 2 cups of your favorite orange juice, Although I definitely suggest that when you get a chance to get some fresh oranges, you try it this way. And then you're gonna start juicing your oranges. If you're using the Sumo citrus, let me tell you, you might not want to make juice with all of them, but it definitely will add so much flavor to this recipe. And you can tell them apart because they have a bumpy skin, and any kind of orange or citrus that has a bumpy skin is my favorite. Even men with crater faces, yes, very handsome too. I'm not kidding. I'm really serious. I find it very, very attractive.
With acne scarring?
With acne scarring, just beautiful. The total amount of oranges that you're gonna need for this recipe is gonna be anywhere from 4 to 6. It really depends on how juicy your orange is. Now, if you have a lot of kids in the house, you wanna keep these because you can make little sorbets in here. You can put your Jello in here and your little raspados for the summertime to keep it nice, fresh, and calm, because you know the kids get really hyper and it's gonna be a hot season. And yes, it's an agua fresca. We're gonna add some sugar. So you have choices. You can either keep it natural and don't add any sugar. You can add 1/4 of a cup of sugar, or you can choose your favorite sugar alternative if you're watching your sugars or if you put sugar. Either or, you'll be able to pick and adjust and make it comfortable for your home. Go ahead and add your sugar to your pitcher, your 2 cups of orange juice, and you're gonna give that a loving mix for about a minute. During this time, you can be chatting, you can be comadreando, you can just think of how happy your family's gonna be to drink this orange agua fresca.
I don't know if we're gonna be happier than you.
I don't know, you can try.
I don't know, we can't match it right now.
Once you're done combining your ingredients, you're gonna add 8 cups of water. Give that another loving mix, and remember, this is not orange juice, it's orange agua fresca. You can drink this straight away, just add a little bit of ice to your cup, or for best flavor, you can leave it in your refrigerator overnight to get nice and cold. Now I'm gonna need somebody very special to say As always, Cloud and I are wishing you the best. We absolutely adore you, and let us know in the comments when was the last time you had an orange agua fresca. And on that one, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Adiós.
Entonces, ¿qué opinas del Scar del Rey León?
El Scar está guapillo, pero me cae mal.
Entonces tiene que portar bien también.
Guys, Cloud just asked me if I think Scar from The Lion King was handsome, and I said, yeah, he's handsome, but I don't like him. I really thought you were going to ask me about the guy from Grease.
No, girl, I'm immature.
And for those of you that don't like the pulp, using one of these is going to make your life so much easier. I am a fan. I'm obsessed with this citrus juicer, so go ahead and make fun of me in the comments about it.